Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called David Copperfield. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this flick. I'm not a fan of Charles Dickens. I never really liked Christmas Carol, but I did like the movie versions of Christmas Carol. Apparently, they took a lot of characters out of and story out of the movie. It was still convoluted and confusing to me. Was that Adrian who just stepped into the chat room? I saw a couple of his comments. He keeps trying to recommend War of the Worlds, which I already have on my Netflix queue at 306 or something. So I responded to that comment, but what do we got for David Copperfield? Oh man, it's way too long, over 2 hours. Really? 2 hours and 10 minutes? And I still didn't get the story, really. David Copperfield, his father dies before he's born. And then his mother dies. So he's stuck with his stepfather, who promptly forces him to work. He has no skills at working, so he ends up. He's working for W.C. Fields. Seems like a reasonable guy, but he keeps saying, "in short," and he doesn't have a British accent. It's supposed to take place in England, so W.C. Fields' debtors come after him, and they throw him in debtor's prison or something. So David Copperfield decides to run away to his aunt. He decides to hike for like 72 miles. He's starving and his clothes are all tattered. He thinks his aunt is an obstinate person, but she ends up accepting him, and she's got some friend who gives her advice, Mr. Dick. And, this goofy guy. So David Copperfield enjoys living in his new home, and then his stepdad comes. Basil Rathbone comes after him. I forgot to put Basil Rathbone in the starring credits. I gotta go back and fix that, but his aunt in Dover, he walks all the way from London to Dover or something, because somebody steals all his money, so he has to walk. He can't go by carriage. This takes place around 1835, I guess. Jolly old England. So he goes back to London to work for or to study at some school where he meets this lawyer guy. And the lawyer guy is getting ripped off by Uriah Heep. Then he marries this totally incompetent young lady. Kind of reminds me of my first wife. She's totally useless. All she cares about is a dog, and she can't keep record of all the food that she buys, and her cook burns it or doesn't know how to cook. so so she ends up dying, and there's a somewhat happy ending though. And you see his aunt and Mr. Dick and W.C. Fields hanging around. In fact, W.C. Fields gets a job with the lawyer guy, and they expose W.C. Fields exposes Uriah Heep as a thief and a fraudster and a cheat. I really couldn't get into any of the characters, and the movie was too long. It was boring. It was just like a long soap opera. Which I guess I could say the same for that Betty Davis movie I just saw, Dark Victory. But at least that had some enjoyable acting, and I don't know. This one was nominated for 3 Academy Awards, by the way. It didn't win any of them. And what were the 3 awards that I was looking at on IMDb? Man, these old movies are really, really difficult for me to watch. They have zero exploitation. They're lamestream, and they're boring. I don't know. I guess these are movies that I would have seen at Stanford Theater if I had the time, the patience, and the money to watch these every week or every month or however often they played at Stanford Theater. I think it was a different movie every week on when these movies played on the big screen in Palo Alto. Of course, I would never go back there now. They forced me to wear a mask. Oh, it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Film Editing, and Best Assistant Director. There you go. All right. I guess I'll watch Flesh Gordon Meets the Cosmic. First, I want to rate the entire disc because it did have a couple better bonus features, which says a lot. So overall, I'm giving the disc 3 out of 5 stars. I misspoke in my last video when I said 2 out of 5 for the bonus features. I meant to say 3 out of 5. So overall, I'm rating the disc 3 out of 5 stars. Just wanted to throw that in there. Laters.